Morning, everybody. And I must confess, it's an absolute pleasure to be here and to have a chance to share some thoughts and ideas with all of you. When we think of leadership, we typically tend to think of these tall, charismatic people who probably lead large corporations or lead large teams or perhaps leaders of countries. The idea of a leader is really about the person who's actually inside each of us. Because if you think about it, some people might lead teams, some people might lead armies, some might be lucky enough to lead a country, but each of us leads a life. And the quality of that life squarely depends on the leader. And I often think that, there is that leader inside each of us, and he's waiting to be unleashed. I brought along with me a very powerful tool, and that's right here inside my pocket. It's a tea bag. Okay? And what I'm going to do is really tell you a little bit about this tea bag and try and share some lessons that we can all take away from what might actually be just a humble little tea bag. First, an interesting story. This tea bag was actually born out of an accident. Okay? There was a tea merchant called Thomas Sullivan in London who decided to send some very exquisite tea to some friends of his. He put them into nice little silk bags and sent them away. And one friend, too lazy to actually take the bags off, just dunked that bag with the tea into a cup, and the tea bag was born. So, next time you think you've got this great idea of genius, remember, it might just be an accident. Yeah? And very often what happens is that it's only when you do something different, when you dare to do something different, that the truly great ideas then are created. What really matters is what's inside us. And that's the one that's going to make a difference to who we are, what we do. It's what defines you. It's your moral compass. It's your values. That's what determines the kind of leader you will be. True for all of us as leaders, as human beings. It's only when we are under pressure, when we get into hot water, that you realize what the real person is all about. Okay? And I think it's those moments of temptation, it's those moments of pressure, it's those moments when you feel you're inside hot water that your true colors get revealed, that your true self gets revealed. And that's something that you must try and remember. You've got to learn to ensure that you allow the rest of the world to connect with you, and you allow what's inside you to actually reach out to the rest of the world. So I think being able to communicate, being able to reach out, being able to touch the real world is extremely critical for the tea bag and for leaders. So show what you are, and you can do that from where you are, who you are. Nothing needs to change for us to say, that's when I will show you what a great leader I am. I think leadership can work across levels. Great leaders are those people who actually learn to work with other leaders. Okay? And there are some leaders who think, it's all about me. And the minute there's another leader anywhere in sight, right, that's conflict. We are all answerable. It could be to a board, it could be a customer, it could be to parents, to society, to God. Take your pick. But never forget the fact that no matter how powerful you are, no matter how good you are, someone else holds the string in their hands. So I think leaders need to recognize this. It's not about me. It's about what I do to the rest of the world around me. Okay? You will get recognized for the organizations you create. You will get recognized for the impact you make. You will get recognized for what you do to the people who come in contact with you. That's what defines great leaders. Never think that you've become indispensable. And very often as young leaders, as people, we can start thinking that, the world depends on us, and that if we were to go away, the world would come crashing down. That's not true. I want you to remember that, sometimes the best lessons, the biggest lessons in leadership can actually come from small things around us. The mistake we can make is to believe that it's only great leaders, large organizations, successful captains who can teach us leadership. Leadership can be taught by the security people outside this hotel. They can be taught by the lady who's selling vegetables outside. Why? They can even be taught by that little tea bag